and we wanted to tell you today a little bit about the sheep that my mother-in-law owns. And today I have my daughters with me, Heika and Auður. And you just saw our sheep outside, Steina and her two lambs. What were the names of the lambs? Freya and Ásdís. Yeah. And we have a few videos we'd like to show you. And this is, here we have the first lamb of the season. And the first lamb of the season is either a lamb king or a queen, and this is a lamb queen. And as you can see, they start to stand up immediately. So we have a lambing season in May, and this is our farm. And my mother-in-law has 120 sheep and 10 rams, so 130 in total. Which makes it on average 240 lambs today. Lambing season just finished, and after the lambing season, the sheep roam free here in the fjord until September. In September, we have our annual roundup, and here you can see a video from our roundup. And as you can see, we go by foot. We meet here. We have friends and family that come and help us. And after breakfast, we put on our hiking boots, and we go by foot. And this is a good 5 to 6 hour hike. And we go in every valley of the fjord and take them down to the big fence. The big fence is called the Rettir, and that's where we sort them. So yes, so we do have border collies, but only as pets. We do not have time to train them, so we do not want them at the roundup. We also have friends that own horses, but the mountains here are too steep for the horses, so they round up the fields just with the kids. The kids usually sit in the trucks with their grandpas or grandmothers, and they run out to the field if there's some sheep escaping over the fields. So this is the Rettir, the big fence. And when all the sheep are by the fence, we take a break and we come back here for the Icelandic meeting. Sometimes we have to change clothes if the weather has been bad. We can have all kinds of weather. It can be rainy, windy, or snowstorm. And if the weather is nice like today, or if it's sunny, then it usually takes longer to round them up, because of course they don't want to come down when the weather is good. And after the break, we check on each and every sheep. There's a small roundabout in the fence, the Rettir, and we run them through the roundabout, and from the roundabout there's a small tunnel, and fits one sheep at a time, and we check the ear tags. So each sheep has an ear tag, and if the ear tag gets lost, then each farm in Iceland has its own ear cut, and you can see the different ear cuts here. We have 2 of these, Steve and Bitti, and they get them on the first 24 hours after they're born. Here you can see the roundabout, and then the farmers stand on each side of the tunnel and look at the ear tag. Some farmers can actually just recognize their sheep. Even my mother-in-law, she can just look up in the mountain and she's like, no, those are not mine. Wow. I have no idea how. But they usually know their sheep and where they go. My mother-in-law, she knows, she's like, oh, that sheep, yes. She's usually there, or over there. She has that area, and she always hangs out in. So also the sheep, they are smart, and they know where their farm is, and they know the direct line of the farm. So when we have sheep, this is Henka, when we have sheep that come from other fjords, like Dýrafjörður, then they of course also know where their farm is, and they do not want to come down with us. They want to go straight back over the mountain. So those can be hard to get. We sometimes we have used drones. First we tried to use drones to round them up. That didn't work. But now we just use it if we can't find them. But we usually always know where they are. And if after this we count our sheep, and if there's still some missing, we go the weekend after. If we know where they are, we're like, okay, they're over there. Sometimes we have enough time the same day to go back with our best people and get them. And sometimes we have to do it the day after or the weekend after. The only predator here in Iceland is the Arctic fox. But as soon as the lambs are 1 week old, they're too big for the fox. So there's nothing really to be afraid of. We don't have any bears, no cougars, no snakes, no mosquitoes, so nothing to be afraid of. We have an American friend that lives here, and he says, yes, Sophie, this is the reason you tell your kids the stories about the elves and the trolls, because there is nothing to be afraid of. I don't know about that though. This is from last year's roundup. We had a bit of difficulties with 3 sheep. Of course, not ours. The landowner had a 2-year-old border collie that he really wanted to use, and we couldn't say no. So the border collie, its natural instinct, of course, worked, and it could round up the sheep, but it just kept running around the sheep. And we couldn't get the dog, and we couldn't get the sheep. So it ended up with my husband and his cousin needed to jump on the sheep, and that's how they got them. So there's always something new every year. And and if you have any questions, just fire away. So after the lambing season, we let the sheep out, they roam free. All sheep in Iceland roam free until roundup. Our sheep, they usually stay here in Önderfjörður. We have a few that come from other fjords, but otherwise we know basically where they are. And then in July we have haying season, where we cut the grass here on the fields and we roll it up in the big rolls that you see all over Iceland. Yeah, the big white ones. Today they're actually also black or green or pink. And during the winter, this is what we feed the sheep, and there's approximately 1 roll for each sheep. And here in Iceland, we have the lowest rate of antibiotics. The sheep only get 1 shot their first week after they're born, and that's about it. Here you see a typical Icelandic country wedding. Everybody has their lopapeysa. So the Icelandic sweater is very popular in Iceland. And we have, well, I would say each Icelander has at least 1 Icelandic sweater. I have 4. This is one of them. And we use them mostly in the summer. This is like a summer jacket. It doesn't rain so heavily here in the Westfjords, so if there's rain outside, then I always wear my Icelandic sweater, because then I don't get wet. The Icelandic wool is very unique. It's in 2 layers, so the sheep is always warm and dry on the inside, no matter the weather. And here I grabbed this in the sheep house when they were sheared. We shear them twice a year. You can feel the fat in the wool. We share them in October and again in March. And yeah, pass it. Please. And we do sell the wool, but we don't get so much for it. We sell it to the only company in Iceland that works it and makes a yarn out of it, and also the newest thing now in Iceland is wool duvet. So it's really nice, it keeps your body temperature just about right, no matter how hot or cold it is. And here you can see one of the son of one of the Iceland farmers, my grandson. So we have about five Iceland farmers here in this fjord. So this fjord is one of the biggest Iceland area in the world. And this is what they do. They approach the nest, remove the eggs, and then they collect the down and replace it with hay. And then they put the eggs back and the birds sits back on the nest. And this relationship is very unique, and it's a beautiful relationship between a wild animal and a human being. There's a mutual respect, and the bird knows that it's protected from the Arctic fox. And we have fox hunters here in this fjord. Last year they caught 33 foxes, and they stay away for 2 to 3 months while this is going on and protect them. And the birds keep coming back every year. One of the Iceland farmers last year had 1,650 nests, wow. And he had a 100 nest increase from the year before. And this is the eider duck. And the cake. I wanted to tell you about the cake. This is the happy marriage cake. This is the original recipe, but we added coconut because we love coconut and we didn't have it in the old days. And of course it's made with the rhubarb that you can see here. My mother-in-law and my mom made the rhubarb jam.
It's tall.
It's quite big.
Yes.
So in the old days they said that if a housewife could bake it, she would have a happy marriage. But I say it's so easy to bake, as you can see, that the husbands can bake it as well. Right? But we have recipes here. You can take a picture of it later. So this is our farm. This is my youngest. This is how Icelandic babies nap during the day, outside. And they sleep for 2 to 3 hours. And they sleep outside all year round, no matter the weather. The more wind, the better. And of course we have the baby monitor. And today the baby monitor, you can have a video one, or it also shows the temperature, which is good to have. And yeah, we usually they are outside in the winter, but if it's more than below the 0, it also depends on the wind, then of course we don't put them out. The pram is going to roll over. But yeah, but they sleep very well. And of course they wear the Icelandic wool and sleeping bag, and usually in an isolated pram. This is our 4th, so he's just in a stroller. Yeah, but he's good. And everything you can see here is knitted by my mom. And we also sell, well, I think it's sold out. Now there's one left. The book about the swimming cow. Have you heard about it? So, Gunnar allowed me to tell you a story. So, this is a true story, and it happened here in this fjord in the year 87. This cow was sent to the slaughterhouse in Flattery. It managed to jump over some fishing boxes, and it escaped towards the sea, and it started swimming. So they called the farmer on the opposite side. That's actually Sika, the sister of my late father-in-law. And they said, well, okay, we'll have a look, see if she can make it. And she swam 2 kilometers, and she did make it. And Sika and Stene decided to buy the cow. And the beauty of the story is the cow was pregnant. So it was saving her baby, and she gave birth to a baby cow on the day of the fisherman. So it's a beautiful story. It got known worldwide, and they actually received letters all the way from India, where the cow is holy. So this is, and the cow lived for another 8 years. So, and it's actually buried at the beach where it came to land. So, and every year in August, we have a cow swim for the brave ones, where people can participate in a fun swim. It takes about 40-50 minutes to swim over. Yeah, it's cold, but some don't even wear a suit, they just wear a bathing suit. I've participated a couple of times, but I always wear a neoprene suit, 5 millimeters. Yeah, so this is, so there is a very strong swimming culture here in Iceland. I don't know if the cow knew about that, but so each kid in Iceland knows how to swim from the age of 6. And by each kid, I mean almost every kid, because homeschooling is not allowed in Iceland. So all kids go to school, and from first grade, they have swimming lessons once to twice every week for 10 years. And they learn the 6 types of swim. I still can't remember the English words, but it's the bringusund, and then the skriðsund, and the 2 on the back, and then the butterfly, and then there's the rescue swim. And I remember the rescue swim was the most fun one to learn, because we were allowed to jump in our clothes, of course. So, yeah, we are big fans of swimming. So each town in Iceland has its own pool, and heated, of course. I was once asked if it wasn't cold. No, it's heated to approximately 26 degrees Celsius, and then there's always at least one hot tub. And for example, here in Flateyri, we have one indoor pool because there is no hot water, so the pools are just inside, and one indoor hot tub, 2 outdoor hot tubs, and a sauna. And the parents can sip on coffee for free, and you can buy popsicles for the kids, so it's a really fun family spa time. And we use it sometimes every weekend, every day during the summer sometimes. And when we travel around Iceland with kids, you go to the town with the best pools. And a little bit about this building. So this building was founded in 1952 and used to be a school. When my late father-in-law was here, this was a boarding school, and the kids stayed here for a week and then a week on farms. But when my husband was here, it was just a regular elementary school, and the kids, they went home in the end of the day. The school closed in 2000. The tunnel, of course, came in 1996. So they could choose to go to either Flateyri or Ísafjörður to school. So the building was almost empty until we decided to do something with it, because this is a very special house for us, the farmers. This is like a social gathering house for the farmers, and we have meetings here regularly over the winter time. And we also celebrate Þorrablót here in February. Þorrablót is where we celebrate the good old times, where we eat fermented shark meat, shark, and then sheep head, sheep tongue, sheep testicles, all that good stuff. And dry fish, of course. And we have had 130 people here having fun all night long. And Thorflug is all over Iceland in February. And often there is, like here, there's Thorflug here for the farmers, and then there's another one in Flateyri, so 2 in this little fjord. And yes, we opened 7 years ago, 2018, and we renovated the whole thing on the inside. We have 11 rooms with private bathrooms. The outside is still left, but we say in Iceland that good things happen slowly. And when we first started, the season was from June till the end of August. But now we have staff from the beginning of April till the end of October. So the season is getting longer and longer. It's getting more and more popular to visit the Westfjords, but it's also getting more popular to experience through winter. And experiencing winter storm, getting stuck, and all that fun stuff. Yes. Any questions?
How long does it take to get all the sheep? Like 2-3 weeks? Or?
So we most often we manage to get them down in that one day. Yeah, in those 6-7 hours it takes.
Okay.
But sometimes there are a few left, and as I said, we manage often to get them the day after or the weekend after.
Okay.
Depends on weather.
Yeah.
The worse the weather, the quicker they are to come, right?
Yes. Yeah.
True.
And if the weather forecast is not good for the weekend after, then we try to finish it all in the same weekend. Also, that the main roundup weekend we have the most people to help us.
So the land is coming to everybody?
The land?
The land.
Yeah. We round up most of Underfjordur.
Okay, but the property of the land.
Yeah.
Not the land, the land.
Land, yeah.
It's like the village owns the land?
No, some of it is privately owned,
Okay.
but it's
It's
okay.
free for everybody?
Yes, it's okay to walk on it when it's roundup day.
Okay.
Yeah. The town of Ísafjörður puts out a date and says this is the main roundup day, and everybody knows that roundup is going to happen on that day.
Okay.
Yeah. But if you're going to go for a hike or going to find some berries, then you need to talk to each and every landowner.
But the sheep, they don't care who.
They don't care.
Good luck trying to stop them.
Yeah. And Ísafjörður, the town of Ísafjörður has had a bit of, always every year there are some unhappy house owners with a very beautiful garden, and the sheep attack the summer flowers, and then it's the responsibility of the landowner to fence the land. But here in out in the country, this mostly happens in the towns, but here around the farms, the sheep, they go up in the mountains.
So if I heard you correctly, you say that there aren't a lot of predators that make their way up? Why is that?
They only have one.
The fox.
Okay, the fox, right?
Yeah.
And how dangerous is that to the population?
Not at all.
Is it not?
Not at all.
It's so
It's
tiny.
a tiny fox.
Yeah, it's
So
so
there-
tiny.
So it's a very safe place to live, is what you're saying, where you don't have to worry about any of those kind of things?
No.
No crocodiles.
What?
What?
Dinosaurs.
Well, why would you say that there aren't any more, since there is more open land up here?
Sorry?
Why would you say that there are no more predators up there since there is so much more open land, because there's a lot of room to wander?
Yes, but we can hear the fox.
What's that?
We can hear the fox.
Okay,
We know if there's a fox around.
okay.
You can hear it, I don't know what it's called in English.
Well, it's like barking.
Yeah, it barks.
Those-
But no bears or no nothing up here, huh? Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, there's,
So the sheep can run wherever. They
Yes.
can be your property or anywhere in the fjord, right? What about when you cut hay? Can you cut hay anywhere you want, or does it specifically have to be on your land?
yes, on
Okay.
your land, or if you are cutting for somebody else or renting another field.
Okay.
Yeah. And, yes, and it's, we round them up, and the sheep are inside from November, December, depends on the weather. After the roundup, they are next to the farm in a big fence, so they can't get up again. And then November, December, they're inside until lambing season again. So, and in around Christmas time, the rams get lucky again and get to visit, and we have lambing season again in May.
Do you get many tourists even after the season is over with? Do you stay open year round?
Tourists? Yes, here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are open all year round, but there are not so many that dare to visit us in the winter time.
Okay.
But some people think, even Icelanders think that we are stuck here for many months. On average, we are stuck 2 days a year, where we cannot get to work. And we work in Ísafjörður, so it's only a 20-minute drive. And as you can see in the winter photos, there's not so much snow here. And even on the winter photos, you could see that we had a cross-country skiing track around here. We haven't been able to do a cross-country skiing track on the fields for 2 or 3 years now. So the snow is just up in the mountains. And we have, the government clears the main roads every day during winter. 4, 5, 6 times a week or every day, I can't remember. But at least every weekday. So we can always get around.
One other question I haven't been able to ask a tour guide yet. What type of health insurance do they have in Iceland? I think a lot of people wonder, does the government finance the health insurance in Iceland, or is it private enterprise?
No, the government
Okay,
takes care of that.
so everybody's provided with health care automatically?
Yes. And then there is, like if you take your kids to the doctors, you don't have to pay anything. So you can always, just like yesterday, I just called in the morning and I could get a time with the nurse in the afternoon for my youngest, just to have him checked out. A lot of coughing and stuff, and you can always get your kid checked out the same day, and then you go on the nursing shift and you meet a nurse and she calls the doctor to have a look, so you don't have to order or book an appointment with the doctor. And for the doctor, if you need to go see a doctor, it depends if it's just a general physician. You pay a minimum amount, I
It's like
think,
$4, 500.
yeah, 500 kronas for the visit. But if you need to see a specialist, then you might need to pay more.
And what about surgical procedures? Does that get really expensive, or does the government pick that up?
Depends on what it is.
Okay.
Like if you're giving birth, you don't have to pay anything.
But other stuff is,
I mean, if you, I know,
It's never to the point where you're gonna go bankrupt or anything.
no.
Like in the States.
No, so it's basically like we care about our people.
So
it's what?
We care about our people.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
I think if you need to, I know that if you have to call an ambulance, you have to go to the hospital, you stay there, you don't have to pay anything for the hospital visit, but you do have to pay for the ambulance, but that's maybe 15,000 Icelandic kronas.
Okay.
But I've been so lucky that I do not need
That's
I
okay.
do not know for certain how the prices are. Yeah, but I recommend giving birth here. It's really nice. It's like a 5-star hotel.
So y'all work the farm, but in addition to that, you and your husband also have full-time jobs?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I work with the power plant company where I'm an accountant. So the company that supplies the whole West Church with energy. And my husband is a lawyer. My mother-in-law retired last year, but she was office manager at the Systemair.
It's the town magistrate, basically, or the area magistrate, so.
Yes, but 130 sheep is not allowed. It's just, I mean, of course, it's always a lot of work, but
A
hobby.
So what is your wireless and internet like out here? Is it starting to get better?
It's always been pretty good.
Has it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Faster than New York
Icelanders
City.
can be very impatient when it comes to technology. If it's not good, we get very impatient.
I know.
So everything happens really fast if you need something done, like if you need a new bank account or something, you can get it in, you just do it in your app
Okay.
in 1 minute.
There's a whole centralized banking system that literally, there are 4 commercial banks, and we can transfer within seconds money between banks, because it's all connected to a central banking system. So it's actually, we are really early adapters on any sort of technology or anything like that. And
So if you take our internet away, we will be screwed, though. So I don't know what.
I mean, there's no TV.
Same everywhere.
Yeah.
Barely any, there's what, 2 radio stations that are sent out, otherwise everything is digital now along with, just with the internet, basically. So there's no TV signals or anything like that anymore, it's all along fiber optic wires that run all around the country and everything.
So I imagine streaming is huge on these partners.
Yeah, but there's a movie theater in town, but they stream their films and everything, that's there. There's no such thing as reels being sent between theaters or anything like that. It's
Not
just a hard route basically that they either get sent or that they download and go through there.
These sheep that you have 130 of them, right? When they grow up, what ultimately happens to them? Do they end up wandering on their own, or?
No, that's not that's illegal.
Pardon me?
That's illegal in Iceland. There are no
Wild sheep.
wild sheep. in
Okay,
Iceland.
so do they ultimately,
So the average age for our sheep is 9 to 10 years.
how, 9 to 10 years?
9 to 10, yes. And then they either die of natural causes or are sent away if they're not in good health.
Okay,
The sheep that we have, the only sheep we have in Iceland is the Icelandic breed, and you can see it here. This is the breed that the Vikings brought. So this is the Icelandic sheep, and it's different from other sheep elsewhere. As you can see, you can't see the tail. So when we go abroad and we see a sheep with a tail, we find it really what does our time say? Do you want more?
No,
No?
just about if there's any last questions or need to use the restroom.
so I guess they're not used for any type of feeding purposes or anything like that, is that correct?
What's that?
They're not used for feeding purposes or for slaughtering them or anything?
Yeah, no, we raise the sheep for their meat and for their wool.
Oh, you did?